The past President's Council of the Scottsdale Area Chamber of Commerce and the lead sponsor, the Scottsdale Charros, are proud to present the 22nd Annual Scottsdale History Hall of Fame. This video production will introduce you to the 5 honorees for 2015. They joined the 131 distinguished citizens and organizations previously honored. Congratulations to each honoree, and thank you for the significant impact you've had on Scottsdale's community history. Don Fry, 2015 Scottsdale History Hall of Fame honoree. Entrepreneur, community leader, balloon pilot, horseman, scuba diver, motorcyclist, car enthusiast, shooting instructor, husband, father, friend. This adventurous string of words can only describe one Scottsdalian to a T. Don Fry, a rare second-generation local business owner. Don carries on many of the successful business and civic leadership practices of his late father, Don Fry Sr. But make no mistake about it, Don Jr. is his own man. For more than 50 years, he has worked hard, played hard, and been an ardent promoter of Scottsdale small business and community involvement. Born a Buckeye in Columbus, Ohio, 10-year-old Don moved to Scottsdale in 1962 with his parents, Don and Mikey, and brother Michael. While his dad was busy establishing Prestige Cleaners, Don attended Tonto and Apache elementary schools and enjoyed desert adventures around their Cox Heights neighborhood near Hayden and McDowell Roads. He and his pals played in the Govway parking lot, caught snakes that he kept in the family fridge, and camped in the open desert near what is today Frank Lloyd Wright and Shea. At Coronado High, he sang with the Don Juan's Choral Group. Prestige Cleaners opened in 1964, and young Don worked as a janitor after school at the first store on Camelback Road. He also went door to door, distributing flyers. Fascinated by animals of all kinds, he'd considered being a veterinarian, but opted to join the family business. To prepare, he majored in business at Scottsdale Community College, then attended the Dry Cleaners and Launderers Institute in Joliet, Illinois. He also apprenticed in nearly every role at Prestige, from scouting new sales to pressing clothes. In 1974, Don opened the McCormick Ranch branch in Paseo Village as its manager. Don Jr. shared in the pride when his father was named U.S. Small Business Person of the Year in 1980 at the award ceremony at the White House. This was a first in the U.S. for a dry cleaning professional and demonstrated the success that the Fry father and son had achieved during 16 years as a Scottsdale-based business. A year later, his father retired and turned the business over to Don. Don respected the solid business foundation that his father had created, and respected even more the dedication and longevity of their family of employees. He personally congratulates each employee on their work anniversary. Some are now celebrating over 40 years with the company. Don has grown the business as Scottsdale has grown, providing dry cleaning and laundry service in 8 locations throughout the city. He's also incorporated new technology, not only in dry cleaning techniques, but in marketing via the internet. Serving his customers, who are his neighbors and friends, is also essential to Don and the continued success of Prestige, now in its 51st year. Whether it's providing fabric care advice through his monthly advertisements in local publications, or cleaning American flags and Santa suits free of charge, Don goes the extra mile. He's also been at the forefront of environmental business practices, recycling hangers, and using eco-friendly dry cleaning methods. As the manager of the McCormick Ranch Prestige Cleaners Store, Don got involved in the then-new McCormick Ranch Kiwanis Club. Since 1976, he's made great friends, served 4 times as the club's president, and chaired many events that have benefited the community and the McCormick-Stillman Railroad Park. Don was elected to the Scottsdale Chamber of Commerce Board in the 1980s. During his tenure as the Chamber's Vice President of Retail and Small Business, he and his committee started an annual trade show and small business award program, now known as the Sterling Awards. In 2005, he and his father accepted the Chamber's highly coveted Sterling Award as the most outstanding small business of the year. Always making time for a group or a cause that was good for Scottsdale, Don served on the board and as chair of both the Scottsdale Paradise Valley YMCA and the Scottsdale Foundation for the Handicapped, now known as STARS. At Mayor Herb Drinkwater's request, he served on the mayor's committee for the employment of people with disabilities, including 1 year as its chair. Before he was married and father of 2 daughters, he served on the board of Girls Inc. Don was on the committee that facilitated the merger of the Boys Club of Scottsdale and Girls Incorporated into the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Scottsdale. He's continued to serve on that board, and most recently headed the Russo and Steele Gala for this premier youth organization. He now serves as a trustee of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Scottsdale Foundation. For many years, he and Prestige have sponsored the Frank Hodges Alumni Achievement Award for Scottsdale Leadership, which is his personal tribute to his late friend and fellow Kiwanian, Frank Hodges. To serve his profession, he's been a president of the Western States Dry Cleaners and Launderers Association and state director of FLAIR, a fabric care legislative group. It's clear that Don Fry works hard, running his business and leading community groups. Now to that part about playing hard. He's a hot air balloon pilot and a certified scuba diver. He, his father, and friend Tom Johnson attended, with press credentials, the Iditarod race in Alaska. He's an NRA certified shooting instructor and rides a motorcycle. He admits to riding a wild buffalo in the Parada del Sol. Since taking horseback riding lessons back in the 1960s at the Yale Siminoff Stables on Indian School Road, Don's been a horseman. A veteran of many charro rides, he became a Scottsdale Charro Grande in 2011. Don has also been a member of the Verdi Vaqueros ride group for many years. Don married Rachel in 1987. They have 2 daughters, Taylor and Catherine. As a family, they share a love of horses and frequent trips to their place in Maui. Relationships are the most important thing in his life. Don will tell you he treasures the bonds he's made with his family, friends, employees, customers, and community. He also values the importance of a good education and has established the Fry Family Trust to ensure that this and future generations of Frys are given the opportunities he's had to learn and grow. Don Fry is an inspiration to all of Scottsdale. demonstrating how to live a good life, run a great business, and have fun all along the way. Bill Heckman, 2015 Scottsdale History Hall of Fame honoree. Bill Heckman was born to be a mover and a shaker. In fact, during his youth, his family moved 34 times. Scottsdale is fortunate that his last move was 35 years ago, because he's been a prime mover and shaker as a business and community leader ever since. Bill has used his executive background in sales, marketing, and strategic planning to move Scottsdale's business environment, park system, and arts and cultural environment to new heights. And he's shaken our consciousness about what matters most in Scottsdale through his civic leadership and editorials. Technically, Bill was born in Pittsburgh, but he claims no hometown. Bill's dad was an FBI agent and corporate executive, and was frequently transferred throughout the U.S. Bill quickly learned to adapt to new areas and to make new friends. Playing the drums was a constant in his early life, and he started playing professionally while in the 8th grade. He was also a talented snow skier and high school wrestler. Bill earned his bachelor's degree at Wesleyan University in Connecticut. After earning his MBA at American University, his first job was as a buyer and store manager for Woodward and Lothrop in the Washington, D.C. area. Bill was recruited by the Broadway department stores to manage stores in the Los Angeles area. While managing the Crenshaw Broadway, he established the Crenshaw District Merchants Association and marshaled his fellow retailers to provide support to this at-risk area. The Mayor of Los Angeles, City Council, and the Crenshaw Chamber of Commerce each recognized Bill's civic leadership with official proclamations. While managing the Fashion Valley Broadway store in San Diego, he met and married Jane, also a Broadway executive, and they blended their families, soon adding a daughter of their own. In 1980, Diamond's department stores lured him to Arizona, and shortly after, Goldwater's department stores brought him to Scottsdale. During his years with Goldwater's, he managed the Paradise Valley, Metro Center, and Scottsdale Fashion Square stores. He served as the president of the Scottsdale Fashion Square Merchant Association for 2 years in the 1980s, and was honored as Goldwater's Store Manager of the Year in 1983. Promoted to the corporate office in Scottsdale, Bill was the Senior Vice President of Sales Promotion and Marketing for Goldwater's until Paddock Pool snagged him away to become its Senior Vice President for Retail. In 1991, the entrepreneurial bug bit, and Bill formed his own company, HMA Inc. As an independent manufacturer's representative for outdoor furniture, he also provides marketing consulting and strategic planning services to clients. He was chairman and member of the Pride family brands, Tropitone, and Meadowcraft rep councils from 1996 to 2014. He's also been a guest lecturer on marketing and management at universities, marketing clubs, and at regional and national conventions of retailers. Although he had been involved in many community and business events representing Goldwater's and Paddock Pools, Bill really launched his civic leadership career at the same time he launched his own company. Combining his retail and downtown Scottsdale experience, he joined the Scottsdale Chamber's Retail Small Business Committee and became a champion of downtown issues and redevelopment. In 1999, he was the Citizen Advocate Chair for the Canals of Scottsdale project, which eventually morphed into the spectacular redevelopment of the north and south banks of downtown Scottsdale's Arizona Canal. He has been active on chamber committees for 24 years and currently serves on the chamber's board of directors. In 2013, he was honored with the chamber's Legacy Award for his outstanding and long-term volunteer leadership. A member of Scottsdale Leadership Class 8, Bill has continued to serve the organization that brought him great friends and new insight into Scottsdale, its issues, and its organizations. He served on the leadership board for 6 years and was program chair for Class 11. Bill was appointed to a term on Scottsdale's Industrial Development Authority and to 2 terms on Scottsdale's Parks and Recreation Commission, also serving as its chair. During his time on the Parks Commission, Scottsdale opened several parks, including Pinnacle Peak, Stonegate, Grayhawk, and the McDowell Mountain Aquatic Center complex. The city also adopted distinctive and artistic signage for its parks. In 1998, he ran for Scottsdale City Council, and although unsuccessful, he gained an even greater appreciation for Scottsdale, its challenges, and opportunities. Bill was chair of the City of Scottsdale's Bond 2013 Commission and continues to be an eloquent spokesman for the unmet infrastructure needs of our city. His insightful op-ed pieces remind us of what's important in our community. During his tenure at Goldwater's, Bill had the opportunity to meet many renowned artists. He and Jane have shared a lifelong interest in Western and contemporary art. So it was natural that Bill would accept a seat on the Scottsdale Public Art Advisory Board and later the Cultural Council. He's proud to have played a part in some of Scottsdale's most recent public art acquisitions and installations, including the Solari Bridge on the Arizona Canal, Watermark on Indian Bend Road, Sonoran Seed Pods at Cavalier Park, and Impulsion at Westworld. When he's not working and volunteering, Bill and Jane enjoy family time with son Rob and daughters Kimberly and Elizabeth and their 4 grandchildren. For over 2 decades, they owned horses, and Bill was privileged to participate in 6 charro rides. Now Bill and Jane, joined by friends for over 30 years, ride airplanes on exotic journeys all over the globe. Bill credits 2 role models, his father, as well as his music instructor, Ted Hatrack, for inspiring him to be self-motivated and to strive to be the best at whatever he chose to do in life. Whether in business or civic leadership, what has mattered most to Bill is making a meaningful contribution to the community and to enjoy doing it. He considers community service his favorite hobby. Scottsdale, its downtown, its parks, its public art, and its overall quality of life have been enriched beyond measure by Bill Heckman, a lifelong mover and shaker. Tom Sadberry, 2015 Scottsdale History Hall of Fame honoree. For nearly 30 years, Tom Sadberry has been a champion for Scottsdale's health and well-being. He's accomplished this from a variety of leadership positions in healthcare, business organizations, and civic groups, and as a role model for healthy, happy living. As the leader of Scottsdale's major employer, he's guided Honor Health through constant changes in the regulatory environment and economy, always focused on what's best for Scottsdale and all who live, work, and visit the area. Born in upstate New York, Tom played trumpet and drums in high school. His father, an Orthodox priest, taught him about the responsibility of giving back to his community. During Tom's time at Allegheny College, when he was unsure of what to major in, a friend's father, who was a hospital CEO in Pittsburgh, recommended healthcare. As soon as Tom heard him say that every day is different and you make a difference in the lives of patients and the community, he knew he'd found a career. He became a paramedic to get hands-on experience, then attended grad school at the University of Pittsburgh, where he earned a master's in public health in 1979. During one momentous emergency call, this paramedic met a nurse named Mary in the back of an ambulance. They've been married ever since. His first job was in administration at Barberton Citizens Hospital near Akron, Ohio. During the particularly snowy winter of 1985, he and Mary took out a map of the U.S. and pondered where they might like to live, work, and raise their family. They agreed it should be someplace in the Midwest or eastern part of the U.S. However, Tom noticed a letter on his secretary's desk from Scottsdale Memorial Health Systems, which was looking for an administrator for its new hospital on Shea Boulevard. He threw his hat into the ring, but nearly missed his interview due to an Ohio snowstorm. Tom arrived here on a warm and beautiful evening, impressed his interview team the next day, and was offered the position. Right off the bat, he had big challenges. In its second year of operation, Scottsdale Memorial's Shea campus was struggling, as the population had not yet moved that far north of Scottsdale to keep the hospital at optimal use. Tom was tasked with forging a relationship with Mayo Clinic, which was opening a major outpatient facility further east on Shea in 1987. Mayo would be using Scottsdale Memorial's Shea Hospital for any inpatient care, a partnership which continued until Mayo opened its own hospital in 1998. Tom led his staff and Shea physicians to collaborate with Mayo in many creative ways, from joint residency and clinical programs to staging an annual Follies Review in which he also performed. The two health systems remain close colleagues today, particularly as key elements of Scottsdale's Cure Corridor. As demand for healthcare services grew with Scottsdale's population, so did Tom's responsibilities at Scottsdale Memorial Health Systems. He oversaw multiple expansions at the Shea campus, as well as the Osborne campus, and together with his predecessor, Max Pohl, negotiated agreements that established Scottsdale as a leader in cancer care with the opening of the Virginia G. Piper Cancer Center in 2001. In 2005, Tom Sadbury became the president and CEO of Scottsdale Healthcare. In 2007, he cut the ribbon on Scottsdale Healthcare Thompson Peak Hospital, a planned third campus to meet the healthcare needs of the growing population of the northern Scottsdale area. In 2013, Scottsdale Healthcare merged with John C. Lincoln Health Network to form Arizona's second largest healthcare system. The organization has remained nonprofit and locally owned. The combined organization adopted its new brand and identity, Honor Health, on March 30th, 2015. Honor Health is both a name and a call to action, as the company seeks to make healthy personal and to transform healthcare delivery. Through Tom's leadership, the team at Honor Health is making healthcare simpler and more accessible by focusing on the patient when they're healthy and when they're not. The integrated healthcare system offers outpatient care services through 74 locations, including 54 Honor Health Medical Group primary care and specialist offices. Honor Health also includes 5 acute care hospitals in Scottsdale and Phoenix, plus extensive community outreach programs. Tom's focus on community well-being has always extended beyond the hospital campuses. He recalls that it was former Scottsdale Community College president Art Decabuter, while serving on Scottsdale's Memorial Board, who opened the door to Tom's first civic involvement. As a member and later chair of the Scottsdale Paradise Valley YMCA board in the late 1980s, he met many emerging leaders. He went through Valley leadership in 1997. Tom joined the Scottsdale Rotary Club in 1991, serving as its president in 2005. He got involved in Scottsdale Chamber of Commerce committees during the 1991-1992 Scottsdale visioning process, served on the Chamber board, and was the Chamber's chair in 2007 and 2008. Tom chaired the city's McDowell Road Task Force in 2009. Recommendations from his group bolstered the area's economic development. He was co-founder of the Scottsdale Executive Forum, comprised of CEOs of Scottsdale's major employers, who met on an ad hoc basis to help, as Tom describes, get things unstuck on their way to success for the community. He serves on the board of Westminster Village, is an active member of St. Patrick's Church, and has coached youth soccer and basketball leagues. Tom also gives back to and strengthens his profession. He's a member of Health Insights, a national healthcare CEO group whose members exchange ideas and discuss industry issues. He is an adjunct faculty member in the Arizona State University Graduate Program in Health Services. He serves on the American Hospital Association Governing Council and is past president of the Arizona Hospital Association. For his professional and community leadership accomplishments, he was honored with Allegheny College's Lifetime Achievement Award. Tom and Mary have raised their family in Scottsdale and shared many vacations exploring the West. They are proud to have their daughter Rachel and son Chris living and working in the area. Mary recently retired from her career as a nurse and now volunteers at the Desert Mission Food Bank. Together, they hike and enjoy their place in Flagstaff. Tom also golfs and is an avid reader of history. Reflecting on his local healthcare tenure, Tom says he's honored to be a part of an organization whose mission is to improve the health and well-being of those we serve. He's proud of the culture, talent, and caliber of the physicians, nurses, staff, and board members, and how they relate to patients and each other. That's a key reason why he works to ensure the greater Scottsdale area is as strong and viable as it can be for his colleagues as well as his family. Scottsdale continues to thrive through the mindful leadership of Tom Sadberry, our chief advocate for healthy living, a healthy economy, and a community known for its well-being. Ellie Ziegler, 2015 Scottsdale History Hall of Fame honoree. It takes a unique set of talents to be a successful leader in the arts, education, healthcare, human services, and college football. Ellie Ziegler has combined those talents with passion and dedication, touching and enriching thousands of lives in Scottsdale and Metro Phoenix immeasurably. A native of Des Moines, Iowa, Ellie grew up in a family of community service role models, especially her mother and maternal grandmother. She gained hands-on experience helping her mother, Maddie Levitt, stuff envelopes for causes and events, particularly those that supported United Way of Central Iowa. But when it came time to select a college to attend, Ellie wanted somewhere warm and without snow. She chose Arizona State University. A communications major, she served as an officer in student government and made friends who later became business colleagues. After a brief stint in marketing for McDonald's Corporation, she joined the staff of the Phoenix Metro Chamber of Commerce in 1979 as its communications manager. Ellie was an account supervisor for a local advertising and PR firm, then served as Westcor's marketing director for the Borgata and Scottsdale Fashion Square shopping centers in Scottsdale. During the 1980s, she made two major commitments. She got involved as a Fiesta Bowl volunteer, and she accepted a blind date. Her roles with Fiesta Bowl increased annually, culminating in chairing the unprecedented 3-game football model and 50 statewide events a year in 2006 and 2007. That blind date with Michael Ziegler led to marriage and a lifelong partnership of community service, business, philanthropy, and a shared love of college athletics. Ellie got involved with the Scottsdale Cultural Council during her time with Westcor and a national marketing firm. She joined the board of the Cultural Council in the 1990s and chaired the Scottsdale Center for the Arts opening gala in 1995 featuring Dionne Warwick. Ellie co-chaired the galas celebrating Nordstrom's opening and the store's first anniversary, also benefiting the Scottsdale Cultural Council. Ellie chaired the Scottsdale Cultural Council Board of Directors in 1998 and 1999, brought in a nationally recognized children's exhibition called Warm and Fuzzy, and was honored as the Cultural Council's Philanthropist of the Year in 2000. She led the board to invest and personally support building the Scottsdale Museum of Contemporary Art, or SMOCA. The Zieglers became co-founders of SMOCA, which opened in 1999. A die-hard college sports fan for decades, Ellie was a natural-born leader for the Fiesta Bowl. During her 30 years as a volunteer, she did it all, from stuffing envelopes to fundraising, chairing its New Year's Eve ball, serving as a board officer for 3 years, and ultimately chairing the board. During 2006 and 2007, she chaired the biggest year ever for the Fiesta Bowl and was the first person in the nation to chair a 3-game bowl season. She led a staff of 28 and over 3,000 volunteers to stage 3 nationally televised games in 11 days, the Insight Bowl at ASU's Sun Devil Stadium, as well as the first 2 college bowl games ever played at the then new University of Phoenix Stadium. With a warm smile and attention to detail, she ensured that the teams, coaches, and fans from the Fiesta Bowls Boise State and Oklahoma, as well as BCS championship teams from Ohio State and Florida, had the best possible experience during their time in the Valley. Her team's efforts generated a $320 million impact for Arizona. It was also during her year as chair that the Fiesta Bowl moved its headquarters from Tempe to the Scottsdale waterfront. As a tribute to a sporting event they love, Ellie and Michael dedicated an area in the new headquarters to honor the athletes, coaches, and universities that have played in the Fiesta Bowl since its inception in 1971. The Ellie and Michael Ziegler Fiesta Bowl Museum has become a popular tourist attraction in downtown Scottsdale. With their recent gift to the Scottsdale Museum of the West, The Zieglers have played a major role in creating 3 significant museums in Scottsdale. A proud graduate of Arizona State, Ellie continues to give back to her alma mater. She's sponsored the HIV Education Through Performance Project, chaired the Dean's Community Resource Council, served on the ASU Foundation Board of Directors, and was named to the ASU College of Public Programs Hall of Fame in 1997. She also helped establish the Hugh Downs School of Human Communication at ASU. Ellie has championed the causes of numerous Scottsdale and Valley youth, health, and human services organizations. Each has been able to serve its clients better thanks to her compassion, involvement, and generosity. As a volunteer, she served on the Southwest Autism Research and Resource Center's capital campaign and provided the lead gift for SARC's Campus for Exception Children Building. She and Michael have sponsored the 30 Days of Shopping event for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Scottsdale since 2012. Raising the number of youth in need shopping for back-to-school items from 100 to 1,000. For the past 2 years, Ellie has helped stuff and provide 20,000 backpacks of food for United Way's Weekend Hunger Program. She's a tireless promoter of Scottsdale and the Valley, representing the area at events ranging from the Heisman Trophy presentation to ringing the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange. The Zieglers have ensured that Phoenix Boys and Girls Club's Youth of the Year will have access to scholarships for decades to come. Ellie personally mentors Youth of the Year candidates. For her more than 40 years of community leadership, Ellie Ziegler was honored as Woman of the Year by Valley Leadership in 2013. Although she is continuously involved in a myriad of important events and causes here in Scottsdale and Arizona, you can often find Ellie and Michael cheering on their beloved Duke basketball team in North Carolina and around the country. She's also partial to the Drake Bulldogs, the Iowa Hawkeyes, and the Arizona State Sun Devils. Ask this fashionable and vivacious leader what her hobby is, and she's quick to answer: college athletics. Ellie Ziegler's legacies in Scottsdale and the Valley are wide-ranging. She has thoughtfully and generously given her time, talent, and treasure to support education, healthcare, the arts, ending hunger, women's and children's charities, neurological research, and college athletics. Whatever the cause, if Ellie's got the ball, she'll take it across the goal line every time. Sipe Peterson Post 44 American Legion 2015 Scottsdale History Hall of Fame honoree. In 1935, a group of World War I veterans chartered the Scottsdale Post of the American Legion. Formed during the height of the Great Depression, Post 44 set about organizing youth activities, social events, and patriotic observances for the small, unincorporated town in which they lived and worked. For over 8 decades, Post 44 has ensured that Scottsdale veterans and their families have access to their benefits and are laid to rest with honor and gratitude. Post 44 has more than earned a place in Scottsdale history for its countless acts of community service, and as Scottsdale's oldest, continuously active civic organization. Gathering in each other's homes, in school buildings and churches, The charter members of Post 44 represented a cross-section of Scottsdale life in the 1930s. Among them were Carlton Lutz, the rural mail carrier, Garrett Musgrove, the Scottsdale High custodian, Fred Mathis, Baptist minister, Jack Troutmiller, McDowell Road farmer, Walter Jennings, service station operator, and 12 others. They began conducting ceremonies at Camelback Cemetery on McDonald Road to honor Scottsdale veterans of the Spanish-American and Great Wars, a solemn duty the Post 44 Honor Guard continues today. The Post also began sponsoring youth activities, especially Legion baseball teams. Within their first year, they also welcomed the formation of the Post 44 Auxiliary, comprised of veterans' wives. With the swell in American Legion membership following World War II, Post 44 purchased land on First Street, and members hand-built the First Legion home in 1948. They also named the post in honor of two Scottsdale men who died in World War II, Travis Sipe and Clayton Peterson. In the late 1940s and early 1950s, the Sipe-Peterson Post 44 facility became the site of numerous community events, since it was one of the only facilities in Scottsdale that could accommodate groups. The Brownies, Girl Scouts, Kiwanis Club, Business and Professional Women's Club, and new church congregations all met at the First Street facility. During the Korean War, the Post sponsored blood drives and ran ads in the Scottsdale Progress, reminding Scottsdalians that members of the military were continuing to defend our freedoms. The Red Cross also conducted first aid classes at the Legion Hall. Throughout the 1950s and 1960s, Post 44 continued its role as a leading community organization. In 1952, the Post was a charter member of the Civic Coordinating Council, which was a group that organized recreation and social services before the town government took over those functions. Legionnaires and auxiliary members sponsored local high school students who were selected to attend boys and girls state and continue to do so. The Post sponsored youth baseball teams and patriotic essay contests and distributed gifts to underprivileged children at a December holiday party at the Legion Hall. Post members and the auxiliary raised money and awareness to combat the polio epidemic. For many years, Post 44 sponsored the town's annual patriotic events, Memorial Day service, 4th of July fireworks display, and Armistice Day ceremony. They also offered a year-round calendar of social events for teens as well as adults. Teens of the era will also remember that they took their driver's test at the Legion Hall. In 1994, Post 44 moved to its present location on 2nd Street, where over 1,000 members gather to share the camaraderie of military service. The Post Honor Guard, often the most visible group from the Legion, continues to provide graveside honors, which may include a poem, a prayer, flag folding, the playing of taps, and a rifle salute. The 8-member Honor Guard has also participated in community events such as the Parada del Sol Parade, spring training games, and the city's annual Veterans Day ceremonies at City Hall and the McCormick-Stillman Railroad Park. Each year, the Honor Guard holds a ceremony to retire with dignity those American flags that are no longer serviceable. Members of the Post 44 Auxiliary have dedicated untold hours to serving the Post, local youth, the greater Scottsdale community, and veterans in general. They raise funds through weekly bingo games at the Post and through their sale of poppies and poppy-related items. In turn, they use funds raised to entertain at the Arizona State Veterans Home and to provide an annual baby shower for women veterans in the Phoenix Veterans Hospital. They knit caps for homeless veterans and lap robes for veterans' home residents. During the summer, they donate funds to local hydration programs that give water to homeless individuals and collect food for the Salvation Army throughout the year. Squadron 44 of the Sons of the American Legion, or SAL, was founded to honor the service and sacrifice of Legionnaires. SAL Squadron 44 has raised funds to provide a G.I. Josh stuffed cuddly dog to children of deployed members of the armed services. They also support the Fisher House Foundation, which provides facilities for families to stay in while a service member or veteran receives medical care. The Sons volunteer at veterans events in the Phoenix metro area and at Post 44. SAL's major fundraiser is a steak fry and raffle held over Labor Day weekend. The newest affiliate of Post 44 is the American Legion Riders Association, formed in June 2014. This motorcycle riding group is working with other Legion Riders Clubs to hold a bike night that will benefit Honor Flight, a program that sends veterans to visit Washington, D.C. veterans memorials. A long-standing activity of Post 44 members is sponsorship of a Boy Scout troop, currently Troop 440. The Post also sponsors an annual Police and Firefighters Recognition Day. Post 44 has adopted the 91st CST, or Civil Service Team, of the Arizona National Guard at Papago Park, to which it provides hospitality and family support. In 2009, Post 44 joined with other local veterans groups to fund The Chaplain, a public art installation on the grounds of Scottsdale City Hall. With an 80-year history of community and patriotic service, St. Peterson Post 44 of the American Legion has impacted multiple generations of Scottsdale residents and their families. While serving their community, Post members have also served each other by working together at community events or swapping stories at the Legion Hall. Post 44 members have given their fellow veterans a way to sustain the unique bonds created by the unique experience of military service. To the Legionnaires, Auxiliary Honor Guard, Sons and Riders of St. Peterson Post 44, Scottsdale salutes you and thanks you for your decades of devoted service.